hope my earlier one today went off nicely. So I'm
good.
sure this one will too. I hope.
Yes. Yeah, you're now streaming live. I'm going to give you back host so you can let people in a minute. Yep, and you're all good to go.
Thank you so much.
Have a great class.
I will do. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye. Right, welcome everyone to the live streaming of my second lesson of the day, and this one is a great. Oh, here comes Linda. Let me just admit Linda quickly and take off the waiting room. Hi, Linda. Lovely to have you in. Lovely to have you in class. Great to have you with us. Nicely done. What is the time where you are now?
I am 6 p.m. Hawaii.
Oh, 6 p.m. That's quite nice. So it's not too far. Oh, wow, it's quite a long way behind me because you're 6 p.m. and I'm 12 o'clock the next day. So I'm quite far ahead of you.
You are in Australia?
Yes, I'm in Perth, Australia. So yes, hi Paula, lovely to have you, and Mick, nice back from my previous class. Lovely to see some people coming in from other classes. That's okay. I'm happy to have you. Lovely to have you in class. Yeah, no, we really are having fun in classes these days. And I'm really enjoying preparing all the different classes that we're going to have in April. So there are some new ones and some old ones. My one brand new one that's on the 1st of April for me, which is probably, I think it's the 1st of April or the 2nd of April for me, 2nd of April, is Boredom Busters for seniors. Things that we can do to not be bored.
Feed, THEA, THAGE, phage.
Right.
When I first signed up, Sue,
yeah,
said, is this time correct?
Oh, yeah, you would wonder about that.
Yes, it's from the East Coast. It can't be right.
No. It's I'm West Coast Australia, and yes, it's cooler finally today. Yesterday started getting a bit cooler because we were hitting 103 of your degrees, and it's supposed to be autumn, so it's very nice to be cooler today.
Oh, I'm on the East Coast of the United States. I couldn't figure it out. At 6 p.m. class my time.
Yeah, no, 12 a.m. my time. So that's awesome. We will also have some earlier classes on some days as from April. I will be getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning or before 6 to start lessons at 6 with you guys so that people can have both late night and early ones. Right. We are expecting a few more people, but I think or they can just join us and we'll be happy to have them. Lovely to have you back, Mick. Whereabouts are you? Oh, quiet. Okay, no problem. Please remember, if you can't remember how to unmute or you're wanting to unmute quickly, the best way is to just hit your space bar. And then you can talk while your hand is on your space bar, and then you can lift it up and it mutes automatically, which is a nice way to do things. Yeah. So that's a lovely way of quickly unmuting yourself if you want to say something. So let's share our screen and let's see what we're going to be doing today. Creative ways to use tin cans and paper. How many of us throw out our tin cans because, what do I do with a tin can? I don't know what I'm going to do with my tin can. Well, today I have a variety of ideas to use with your tin cans and a couple of simple paper ideas as well. If you would like to make something with me today, if you can find yourself 2 sheets or even just 1 sheet of A4 paper, which you can cut to a square because we work with a square, and we will be building a box at the end of the lesson step by step. It's a very simple box made in 4 folds. And it's a very useful box to have and be able to use. So let's begin. Now, Get Set Up helps you to learn useful skills. We help from each other. We get lovely ideas from each other, and that is always awesome. You can get a recording afterwards. If you've joined by live streaming, best way to join us is to register for the class, and then you are able to actually participate with us. And also, we don't promote any particular product. If we mention something, it's just something we use. Now, a little bit about myself. I live in Perth, Australia, and I have been here now for 3 years, and I am yes, just on 3 years. I lived in South Africa for 65 years before that. So I have been in different countries, well, basically just 2 particular countries along the way. We also, I enjoy making and creating things, as can be seen by all the things that we make in class. And I have a great love of animals and enjoy being a Get Set Up guide. Now, I just want to stop sharing live for 1 second to get back. There we go. I can now get myself back. I couldn't see myself and I can't see where I'm holding things. So I hope that we go back to sharing what I was sharing with you and I can see myself. No, I can't. Don't know why. Doesn't matter. I'll just hold things in front of me. Right, let's continue. We're going to be creating using tin cans and paper, not only for children, but again for ourselves. And the simple tools you require are scissors, glue, tin cans and paper, crayons, paint, and Google Eyes are always a necessity. We will be discussing both the things that you can see on the screen now. They are both fun to make and do. Now, some of the theme ideas that we have got are music, fun outdoor activities, paper animals, and me time. So the first thing you can see right in front of you now is just a variety of tin cans, all different sizes, tall ones, short ones, fat ones, thin ones, round ones, tuna tins, asparagus tins, you name it. You can take all of those tins and using those, you can paint them different colors. You can even glitter them if you like. And then from that, you are able to then just hang them on a string. Also hang some washers because the washers then bang against the tin cans as well. And you get a tinkling kind of effect. It's or a gurgling kind of effect. It's a very soothing effect you can get from all your tin cans that you hang outside where the wind can just catch them as you go along. And that is awesome. Now, music, I will do a whole class one of these days on making musical instruments. But one of the things that puts people off making musical instruments with their grandchildren is the noise. If I make a drum, I'm going to just hear drum, drum, drum all day. No, not necessary at all. To make a drum, you just need your tin can and a balloon. By cutting the end off the balloon, you are able to then put the balloon carefully over the top of the tin can And then with that over the top of the tin can, it makes a much softer. If you use something other than metal, they can beat to their heart's content and it's silent for you. If they hit the side, obviously something different, but if you persuade them, the best way to hit their tin is at the top. You get more joy out of it. They will then play their drums that way. And it's more of a silent drum. My 2-year-old grandson loves his drums, and it doesn't wake his little sister up because he hits them with he hits the balloon instead. You can make a beautiful little banjo just out of the lid of a bottle, of a tin, a bottle, a fairly large bottle. Your banjo depends on the size of your bottle. And then what you do is you just put some elastic bands across it and a popsicle stick on the back, and you've got your beautiful little banjo. And it actually does make a musical instrument because of the inside of the lid. It is hollow, so it gives you the sound that you require. You also have, you can make a xylophone out of a variety of tin cans, different sizes, just joined together. That one is rather noisy, so it's not something you would have out all the time, but certainly easy to be able to play. You can make a guitar out of a tin can. Just put a little screw inside it, and then a screw with a washer on the end, or a nut on the end so that the screw's not sharp sticking out. And you can attach your elastic bands to that. They go over the edge and hook onto the screws, and you've then got your your guitar to play. Works very nicely indeed. Now, more outdoor activities. Now, I actually had fun with this the other day. We had visitors and we were all sitting outside and just chatting, and we were talking about what both my husband and I do on Get Set Up. And they said, well, show us some of the things you make, show us some of the things you do. And I suddenly had an idea, and I went and got my tin cans out. And I just balanced them on top of each other. And I've got some soft balls, not hard balls. I've got a soft soccer ball, and I've also got some soft other balls that sort of look like the normal balls you use. And we proceeded to try and hit these tin cans down. I must say at the end, people had used muscles they hadn't used for a while, but everybody had great fun seeing who could knock down the most cans in one toss. And you could see and the ball then didn't go too far away. So it was easy to reclaim your ball afterwards. But we had a lot of fun with that. Now, when I was a child, and I'm sure when you were children too, you had a tin can, a piece of string, and another tin can, and you spoke to each other from one room to the other. You had your walkie-talkie made out of tin cans. Even with the modern technology of today, children still love to play with their tin can microwave, talk into it, the friend hears it, they talk back, you listen to it, and they have as much fun as they would with a piece of technical equipment. So don't discard old ideas. They come back in. If children don't know them, they don't know to use them. If you give them a chance to be able to be with them and use them, there's no problem at all. Also, making stilts. Obviously, the smaller the children, the smaller the stilts. You can start with tuna tins, then they can't fall very far. When they've got quite used to walking on those, increase the size of the tin can. And you can end up with the great big coffee tins, and they can clunk along on their coffee tins. And they have great fun having stilts, but homemade stilts that they can walk around on. And it's good for their balance. It's good for a lot of things. Now, something they can make and you can have in your kitchen, it's quite a useful kitchen container. Using a tin can, create a robot, a monster of some sort, and all of your sponges that you use for either the metal ones or the soft plastic ones, you can store those in his head and it comes out as hair at the top, and you can have more underneath. And that's a good storage place for them. And it's something fun in your kitchen that's not a normal thing that's normally there. So it's just a bit of good fun to play with. Anybody got any questions? Not okay. I'm just a little worried because I can't see what I'm holding up. I'm going to just try one more thing to see if I can get myself into the picture. Hold on, please. Let me see. I can see myself now when I'm not sharing. But when I'm sharing, there is definitely a problem. Hi, Keisha. Lovely to have you in this class too. Let me just share again, but I'll share from a different publication and see if that helps. No, doesn't help either. I'm not sure what causes me to disappear off the screen. I can see Paula only. Nice to see you there, Paula. Good to have you there.
Sorry. I wouldn't.
No, I'm delighted. It's lovely to see a face. Right. Now, working with paper folding is so easy to be able to do. You can fold all sorts of things. You can make a simple fan fold where obviously they hold and fan themselves. You can join two fan folds together and then put a Google eye on it and a tail, and they've got a lovely fish that can hang. They can have a hole. You can put a bar across or just a piece of string across the room, and they can hang all sorts of
That would be a
types of
cute.
fish.
You could make mobiles, make a mobile
Absolutely.
different things.
You can make small ones to hang above a crib. You can make all different sizes. So it's a lovely thing and easy to make and do. So you can make round fish, and you can actually shape them after that into different shapes of what you would require. You can also, if you've got a fish theme, you can make a fish and then by weaving into your fish, you can have a fish with different color scales. And so those scales are then what you can see. And again, just weaving. To weave, you fold your shape in half and make slits into it. Just be careful not to go too close to the edge. And after that, you just then thread in your paper, your slices of paper, sort of that size paper, can be slid in thicker, thinner, depending on what you're making. Now, if you're having some friends, a couple of friends for dinner, and you want to make the table look different, you're tired of your placemats, you can then make placemats, doing weaving placemats and do them in the color of the theme of your dinner. So it can be a purple or a green or a pink or a blue or whatever you are making and doing. So this is a lovely way of, again, using your paper and having it as something you can then, they can take their placemat home. You might have happy birthday that you've emblazoned across it. You could make it into anything special using all sorts of bits and pieces that you have in your junk box as such of bits. The fish at the top, we used to call it a quack quack, but it's a very simple fold and it makes it into a fish with a mouth that opens and closes. So it's very easy for you to see your open and close mouth, and you are able to talk very comfortably to the with it. It's a fold that we are going to use a bit later to make the box. So I will be showing you that the fold to get to here. And then all you do is put the fingers inside and you can make it open and close accordingly. The children love doing it. They also put numbers and colors inside, and they open and close and open it up, and the person's a dog or a cat or a fish. So they make a variety of things. You can also make paper lanterns, again, just by having a piece of paper and cutting slits in it and then pushing it down slightly. And again, I would put either a light inside, a simple light inside. You can put a candle in, but you know, with the way the wind blows and things like that, it could be a problem. So I would use a light like this inside it, and then they are able to have it lit up, and it really looks so attractive when you do that. So it's a lovely way of putting it together. Making birds, making a peacock, the children can decorate the paper first, then do a paper fold, and then add a simple body to it. Can make any bird that you wish to make. It can also just make the wings on a butterfly with a peg in the middle, a simple fold and a peg in the middle, and away you go. You've then got the wings of a butterfly or a bug of any description. Any questions? Please, will you tell me if you can't see what I'm showing, because I'm going blind today without a picture of myself. I'm having to guess where you can see. It's a new experience for me. So there's somebody asked a question. Yes, they are. Mick, the parts of Australia are, the East Coast still has huge flooding. I'm on the West Coast, so we are very fortunate. We are dry, but the water levels are dropping. But if there's any more rain, the levels can rise very quickly. And yeah, never thought of that for a creature's mouth. Nice, thank you. All right. Now, fun activities to use paper. You can take sticky paper, you can take plain paper, you can cut it into triangles, just little triangles. Obviously, the bigger the triangle, the bigger the bead you're going to make. You would then take a skewer and then you roll it from the biggest side to the smallest side around the skewer. So just make it tight. So it is now rolled around the skewer, and I would then just put a little dab of glue and then take the skewer out. I have then got, I'm just trying to make it so you can see it, a bead. And you can make square ones, round ones, oval ones. And then you can actually cut them where there's some of the inside is showing out. You can just cut that little piece off and it makes it into a really beautiful bead. And you can do it with all colored papers, any wrapping paper left over. All small pieces go into either a Ziploc bag, then I can see inside what's inside it, or if it's all plain paper, then it goes into an A4 envelope with a color written on it. And so I can go and find small pieces of paper at any time. Yes, Paula.
Are you saying like there's square ones, so you would have the round one off the skewer and you would just press it to be a square?
No, that one I would cut a piece of paper into a square. Let me just do it quickly. Let me cut a piece of paper into a square. Some of my scrap paper that I've got. I'm making a big one now, obviously, to show you. For beads, you would probably make it smaller. All you would do is take it and put it round the skewer, roll it. The first little bit of roll is always the hardest. Then roll it round your skewer, take it off, And now I've got a square bead. So you've got square beads, you've got round beads, you've got long ones, short ones. You can make a long one and then cut it. So you've got some long, some short. You can use old wrapping paper is wonderful to make them, because then you end up with all different shapes, all different colors, all different patterns, designs, all
Well,
of those
except for the
things
square
on
ones, what was the shape of the paper you used for the non-square ones?
triangle.
Oh, okay.
Triangle. You use a triangle, and then you go from the fattest side of the triangle up to the thinnest side of the triangle. And that then rolls it up perfectly. And that makes your different shapes, and then you can actually see the different rolls as it goes up. You can use an old tissue box. Old tissue boxes are wonderful. They've got a mouth, and you can turn it into the most amazing monsters with your mouth. You can then take your round balls. Did I put those away? I think I put those away. Round balls or anything. You can even take two of the lids, join two lids together. That then makes like a quoit, and they have to then throw it into the mouth of the monster. So it doesn't have to be a round ball that is being thrown in. You can also throw in bottle tops. Bottle tops are slightly more difficult. You can join two bottle tops together to make a solid round container, and then they toss it into the mouth of the monsters that they've made, and they earn points by how many they can throw in. You can use those little soft balls as well. You can use a variety of things to throw into this the mouth of your monsters. This particular box, a square box like this, has a bigger mouth, so you can throw a bigger ball into this kind of mouth. So for the younger children, that is ideal. Right. Now, there's beautiful bracelets that you can make by paper folding. And it's one of the things I give you the exactly how to make it. It's two different colored pieces of paper. And basically all you are doing is folding these pieces of paper into each other. The paper is folded it is a double piece of paper that it's a piece of paper that you've taken and you folded it over so that it's two, because you put something inside it, you slide a piece in when you're finished to end the thing so that it's pretty. And you also slide your pieces inside the gap. The first one you make, first fold you make, took me a few minutes to get that right. But as soon as you've got it right once, then the folds just go very, very easily. Children can color the paper first, or you can use single color paper, double color paper. It's entirely up to you. But I have given you a really good explanation of it and step by step how to do it, so that once you are working on it, you'll find it easy to work. If you're wanting to make flowers, flowers are wonderful, very easy. You take a piece of paper, and as long as it's got one point on it, that is the top of your flower. You roll the rest of it up, and I've now got my flower. All I did was roll from one of the two top points, rolled it in, and turned it into my flower. I now have a very pretty flower. I'll cut the extra piece of paper off, and I'll put a center into my flower, add a stem made out of paper as well, rolled on a skewer. You roll some paper on a skewer, pop it in, and it's got a stem and a flower. Very easy to make. Just to put on top of a present, anything like that. It's a lovely way of just adding and showing your friend that you actually care. that you haven't just gone out and bought something and handed it to them. You've taken time to make a little something to put on the present, or you've made the box, the presents in, or you've made it. It just shows that a bit of care has been taken, a little bit of love has gone into it. And so, just simple things using paper, you can create a myriad of wonderful things to use. The Yin Yang box is, for me, one of the fun boxes to make. I've included the template of the shape. And what you do is you cut yourself, I think it's 11 I cut out, of those shapes. And they just hook into each other. One after the other, you hook them into each other. And once you've hooked the whole top, you then hook the whole bottom. And you can twist it like this, and the colors get tighter together or further apart, depending on what you want. And it makes such an interesting container, something bright in a dark corner where you don't know what to put and there aren't any lights in that corner. So if you've got bright paper in that corner, suddenly the corner comes to life and it becomes a feature corner instead of a dingy old corner of something. Any questions? No, no questions? Okay, right. Now it's time for me time. Me time, look at all the different tin cans we've got here. I've used a variety of tin cans, and on this particular set, I've just used sticky paper. I've got from tuna tins to sweet corn tins to baked bean tins to asparagus tins. I've taken a variety of tins, and each one I have covered it in pretty paper, sticky paper, and then I put them next to each other, around each other, and I can put this in my bathroom and I can put all sorts of things that I want into it, and it now becomes a feature. You can also do it with fabric and ribbon. It's beautiful. If you take a bit of fabric, put the fabric around it, add a little bit of lace around that fabric, and turn it into something, a real work of art. Now, that you can give to a friend. You can maybe put some chocolates in some of them, and something that they will be able to use in their home. It's taken you time and dedication to make it for them. You can also include some glass bottles amongst that with lids on them so that things can stay airtight in there as well. You can use both tins, plastic and glass, or as a combination. Put a pretty piece of fabric down at the base or just on a white base or colored base, and then make each tin its own special tin. And once you've done that, you have something really unique for for your friend or for yourself for that matter. And now you have this really special creation that you have made. And that is something that your friend would always say thank you for, because you're forever looking for containers to put pens in, to put pencils in, to put um, uh, if they use any form of stationery, they can put different stationery in different containers, big ones, small ones, round ones, fat ones. It doesn't matter. Each one, even a big lid, becomes a feature as well. So using what you've got from your waste container that you've collecting all your bits and pieces in, create a wonderful creation that is you to give to your friend or to keep for yourself.
Can
Any
you do that with
questions?
plastic containers, not
Yes,
cans?
certainly. Certainly you can do it with plastic containers. You can make the most wonderful things with plastic containers. Yes, you can use any kind of container. And the glues of today stick fabric to plastic, fabric to glass, fabric to tin. They stick to everything. So if you get the multi-purpose one, then you only need to have one tube. If you are somebody who likes to have a particular one for a particular thing, then obviously you would use more, get different types of glue. But a multi-purpose glue works wonders for everything. And then you are able to create some incredible creations. Any comments, any questions? Right. Now, this is more challenging. And be careful of your fingers on some of them, not on all of them. You can use tin cans that you've painted different colors. And now you can either take a drill, but please don't hold the can while you're drilling. Put something, a broomstick with cloth around it that stuffs into the can, and then do your drilling. You do not want your drill to slip and then you drill yourself. Been there, done that, got that t-shirt, not a good experience. So for safety purposes, put something in that will hold it where, or if you've got a little mini vise or even those strong bulldog clips, attach it to the table with that, and then you can drill. But do not have your hand too close when you start making your holes. You can also do it if you have secured your tin down, holding it down carefully, just a nail and a hammer. You can hammer out a pattern as well. Depending on how intricate you want, I've seen a friend made a light like the one in the bottom left-hand corner. Wasn't as fancy as that, but it took her forever to make it. It was beautiful, but I don't have the patience to make a hole and then to sand around the hole and sort out and use a router. If you've got the tools, it's marvelous. But if you are like me and I've only got my simple tools, that's where I use a nail and a hammer, and I use simple things. That is my way of doing things. You can put a tea candle inside them. You can put a bigger candle inside them. They are safe. Nothing can catch fire inside that can. So unless somebody kicks the can over, and even if they do, by that stage, the tea candle has gone out. So there can't be a chance of fire. If you are doing something outside and you are a little worried, rather use those individual lights that you can get, and you just turn them on and put them inside. You can make your tin cans into beautiful lampshades. Plain ones, if you want the light to come pouring straight out, don't make any holes in the can because that diffuses the light. If you want a good reading lamp, you just put it round and you use an old coat hanger to make the shape that you want as your stand, and then just take your light in through the bottom of your can. Decorate your can with pretty paper that is according to what you are wanting your can to look like. So those are some lighting ideas that you have got for your tin cans. Any questions? Now, before we get on to this one, but let's do this and then we'll build our box. This is using tin cans. Painting your tin cans with an acrylic paint. What I do is I go and get the mini cans that you can get as testers from the local hardware. Then I don't have a big liter container of paint unless I'm going to be painting something big. But the little mini cans have got enough to be able to do at least 6 cans. This whole container can be done out of a mini tin of paint, much less expensive. You can then have a variety of colors. I do include this for you. This is your caddy. Now, when you're having people and you're sitting outside, your cutlery takes up so much space on the table. So instead of that, make yourself a caddy. You put your tin cans, 3 on each side, plank of wood in the middle, and a piece of leather from the local shop where you buy your fabric as your handle. And you can just carry this caddy anywhere. You can also use it for an art caddy. You could use it for your knitting caddy. You could have a big tin on one side for all the wool and a smaller tins on the other side for your needles or your crochet hooks or anything that you want. So you can adapt this according to what your hobby is if you want to make it into a hobby caddy. But the idea is here so you can see exactly what you are doing. Now, before we go on to the last few pages, we are able to, hang on, there's a question. You like it, Keisha? Great. Right. If you have your piece of paper that I asked, can you either share that you want to make the box? Let me show you the box first before we make it. This box has saved my life a number of times. It is made with newspaper, a piece of paper from a magazine, anything that you can make into a square. Now, I was camping on a piece of land with my husband that it was owned by the king of the tribe in South Africa. And he had given us permission to have a piece of land there. Unfortunately, his wife died. Now, you have to show your respect by giving him something. Now, when you're camping, you haven't got anything with you, and you can't very well walk up with a bit of money, with a note of money, and hand it to him. That is disrespectful. So what do? I took a piece out of a magazine I had in the car, and I turned it into the box, put the money in the box, and handed it to the to the king. He was delighted with both the box and the money. Your box looks like this. I've got 2 colors here. It can be single color. It's the size of your square tells you the size of your box. The bigger your square, the bigger the box. The smaller your square, the smaller your box. You can make minute boxes using this. And all you use are 2 pieces of square paper. Would you like to just show me if you don't want to come on live, or just hit your space bar and tell me if you'd like to make it or not? Anybody like to make it? No, nobody today wants.
I would like to make it.
Okay, Linda, let's make it. Right, very, very simple. Take your, and there are 4 folds, no glue, no sticky tape. Right, you take your square of paper and you fold it from one point to the other point in half. I call this the duck. This is your duck. So you have a duck. And you run your finger down the side when you're happy with your fold. Always fold softly first and then make a firm fold afterwards. Now, taking the top corner, fold it down to the bottom corner. You've now got a smaller duck. So our first folded that one crooked. Let me just fold it straight. Folding in the air is not as easy as folding on the ground. Let me just make this straight. So otherwise the box doesn't fold as nicely. Right. Now you've got your duck. You have completed a duck. Open up your paper. And now you're going to fold from the top corner to the center, from the side corner to the center, bottom corner to the center, other side to the center. You're going to make an envelope. So folding them in, top to middle, side to middle. Don't let them fold over each other. If there's a little gap, that's also fine. It's not serious. It's better than them actually overlapping, because then when you make the box, it doesn't come out as smooth. Right, I have folded all my pieces into the center. So those are all my folds into the center. I now have my box. Now that quack quack that we made, what you would do would this is the side that's got the open pieces. I would turn it over and then fold from the corner to the center, corner to the center, corner to the center, corner to the center, and you have your quack quack. That was this little, where's he gone? He's run away. Must have landed on the floor. He's not here on my shelf any longer. But it was the little creature that, oh, here he is. He's on this side, this one. Because what you've done is you were sitting with your box like that, your envelope. There's my envelope on this side. Turn it over, fold in, fold in, fold in, fold in. Now you've got the open pieces at the back and you just flip them up. That makes your quack quack. Now back to our box. Right, so we've had a duck and we've had an envelope. Now, taking your top, you fold it from the top to the middle. And you fold from the bottom to the middle. It makes cupboard doors that open. They don't cross over, they touch each other. So you fold them in to the center. There's one folded into the center. He's folded exactly into the center. And I fold the other one into the center. When I'm happy that they are touching, I run my fingers down the fold very nicely and I open up again. Now my opening is to the sides. I now fold from the top again to the middle, bottom again to the middle. Another set of cupboard doors. So you've got the quack, the duck, the envelope, and the cupboard doors, two lots of cupboard doors. And if you look on the back, you will see you've got 4 little squares across the top, 4 squares going down the side. You've got 16 little squares available. Now, this is the only place, if you've got scissors, you would cut, otherwise you can tear. It doesn't matter. What you're going to do is you're going to go from the top to the first fold, from the top to the first fold. You're going to cut down or tear down on either side at the top and fold it in. It looks like the top of the letter H. You've only cut down 1 square worth. So you cut down 1 square worth on either side. You do the same at the bottom now. So you end up with the letter H. If you fold your middle piece in, you have the letter H. Right, your box is now complete. You're looking at me and thinking this isn't a box. You finished with all of your folding, so you've now just got to create the box. To create the box, on the side where all the folds are, you unfold your middle piece and make it stand up. It looks like a house. And your two little side pieces, pig's ears or whatever you want to call them, they are going to be loving arms. They're going to fold over each other completely. This is the only slightly difficult part. You fold them over each other completely, take the house over the top and fold it in. You now have the first side of your box. Fold in your arms, fold your house over the top. Other side, the same thing. Take your house, put it at the back. Take your loving arms, cross them over, and take the house over the top. Sometimes the first time you make it, it's not as accurate as you can. There is your box, your first half of your box made. You make a second box exactly the same size, same shape, same everything. Believe it or not, both boxes fit inside each other, but one seems to fit in easier than the other one. Now I've got a two-sided box. That is your box made and done. You can use it anywhere for anything. It is quite the most useful thing that you can make. If you've got a present you want to wrap, you want to make something look slightly different, use one of the ladies in my previous class, she took a magazine where there was fabric for cloths and things like that, and she made the top of her box with that. It looked stunning. And then she just made a plain white box for the base. And really, it looked beautiful. She had created this really gorgeous box. So I hope that is going to be something that you can make too. If you've got any new ideas, please let us know. It would be great to know of any new ideas that you have, any comments about how to improve what we're doing is always great to know. If we're doing the right thing, let us know. Then we know that where we're going, it is the right thing to be doing and we are going in the right direction. Right. You can ask for a recording of this at help@getsetup.io. I will send you some of the things afterwards. Thank you very much, everybody. Keisha, thank you for your previous comments. Lovely to have them. It does help me to know that we're going in the right direction. And I look forward to maybe seeing you in my pegs and lollipop sticks. Pegs, I refer to pegs. You call them clothes pegs, I think, pegs, and lollipops sticks, popsicle sticks. You make the most amazing creations. That's coming up. And many, many more. They are all going to be, if they're not still for the rest of this month, they are in April. Right. Any questions? Anybody got anything they would like to say? Oh, you've made boxes for separate inserts. Oh, lovely idea, Mick. Lovely. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening. Bye for now. Thanks, Linda. I like the hands.